Hey flowers, it's your girl Reese LaFleur and I'm back with another video. What's up, how you doing, It's been a minute since I sat down and talked with y'all. Actually, it's been like a month because I kind of try to just steer away from doing these kind of videos just because I'm trying to put myself back into why I started my YouTube channel, which was for hair and fashion and try on hauls and stuff like that. But I was like, you know what, let me do another slay chat. So that's what today's video is going to be. Instead of a slay story, I haven't told y'all a story in a few months, but new stories are coming. I decided to do a slay chat because this is a lot going on in the world in the climate that we have today. So we are going to discuss, as you see in the title below, why do or why don't some black women or a lot of black women feel protected by the black men in our community. So this is going to be a heavy discussion. I want y'all to go ahead and join in the comments and let me know what you're thinking, your opinions or whatever like that. I'm ready and willing to hear your perspective on this topic. So before we get into it, before we start doing my makeup, because you know it's a slay and a chat, English, girl, English. I want you to go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell for notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you are notified. Make sure you go ahead and smash that like button and comment down below. And let's get right into it, you guys. Okay. Okay, you guys, so like every slay chat, we do makeup, like I always say, because I want y'all to understand that this is about this makeup life, okay? Period. This conversation is something I've been seeing happening a lot, especially when it comes to the conversation of Black Lives Matter and everything that's been going on with protests and just the community in general. This is something I've been seeing as a topic for a few months. We'll come and we'll protest for you. We just want that same energy. I've even made a post like that, like we just want the same energy from our black men or whatever like that. I forgot her name. I want to say her name is Ola Toyan. She was killed by a man that was sexually assaulted her after she spoke out about her abuse from him. I'll actually post her name because I want to get that correct. I don't want to butcher her name. I'll post that. And then also the situation with Megan Thee Stallion. Like Megan Thee Stallion just got shot. We don't know who shot her, but the speculation is that it's Tory Lanez. So it's like, what is going on in this world? And the things surrounding Megan have been really off-putting because they're valuing her or devaluing her based on her lyrics and things like that. And I'm like, so she can't sing about whatever she wants to sing about or rap about whatever she wants to rap about, but when it's time to protect her, that's how you value it. Like, why should we? But when it's the other way around, we have to protect black men back. Like, it's just weird. I think it's a weird conversation, and I think there's this like weird struggle in the black community that's been going on for ages when it comes between the women and the men in the community, and we're just gonna talk about it. We're just gonna discuss it. So I think that, like, in the sense, like, there are a lot of women who may feel this way, and maybe not personally, but in the community in general. So like when I say personally, I mean like you may have men in your life or people in your life that you feel that will protect you and do whatever needs to be done for you, but it's about that random man that I think is what we talk about. And some women don't even feel protected by the men in their life, maybe because their father left them or they had a really bad situation with the man or whatever. So these feelings come from specific experiences, and I'm pretty sure that every woman in the community does not feel this way, especially on a personal level. They may not feel that way on a personal level. I find it to be something that happens, I think, a little more often than we want it to be. I've even seen this, I wouldn't call her a poet, but I guess she speaks a lot about the issues of black people, and she even said like 80% of black men, you know, are married to black women. Most of us are protected. It's like in a way, like a separation tactic to say that black men don't protect black women. But then you talk to some men and they're like, if I do this, and the third, or if I see a woman getting beat up, I'll ignore it. And we've seen that in the news. So it could be a media push, or it could be a reality that is also pushed by the media to also put that in people's minds who may not feel like that personally, if that makes any type of sense. This is just me like going off the brain because it's like this topic is not, it's been said, Malcolm X said it before.
The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman.
So with that, you saw the direct quote. what's up? Like, it's not a new idea, you feel me? Also, we're actually recreating Taylor-made Jane's look from like a few weeks ago. I love this look, and I was like, you know what, I haven't done makeup in such a long time, so I'm gonna recreate someone's look. So this is the look that we're trying to recreate. Like, wish me luck, may the makeup gods touch my hands and my soul. But anyway, so yeah, I feel like it's been said before, and people have felt that way before, and I listened to so many talks and so many things, and a lot of people feel that black women are forced to deal with struggle love, and I think there are several ways of feeling protected and not feeling protected. I don't think it's only physical. I think it's emotionally, mentally, and physical, and I think those are some of the things that I think people disagree on, because people only think about the physical. It's like, you're not protecting this woman's heart, and that's something that we see a lot. You're not protecting this woman's mental heart, her, you know what I'm saying? But you want that protection from her. You want her to sit there and think about your mind and your emotions and whatever it is, and make sure that you're happy. And that same respect should be given when you're having a relationship. And I think it also ties into the fact that a lot of young girls may not have a father figure, and that immediate feeling of not being protected can stem from just right there of not feeling, because that feeling of abandonment is not a feeling of protection, you understand? So I think that can also come from that, and that kind of mind state. Do you feel protected by the men in your community? Or if you're not sure what that even supposed to look like, or you're not sure, or whatever, let me know that in the comments. I want to talk about it, because I find that a lot of black people tend to do that. They're like, oh well, white people, white men, or Asian people, or Hispanic people, or whoever, they feel that, you know what I'm saying? So it's not just us, you know what I mean? So I think, like, you know, if you're of a different race or culture or whatever, please leave down in the comment how you feel about the men in your community, and what you feel, you know, is going on in your community. I would love to hear that from your perspective, because no one can understand it better than you can in your own community, you know what I mean? Yeah, this is open dialogue, sis, so period. I know I'm about that open dialogue, okay? Feel the way that you feel, but it's like, how are we going to have a solution, as my boyfriend would say, like, what's the solution to all of these issues that we're having? Like, how are we going to fix these problems, instead of just making them a discussion? And I feel like one of those ways is to stop feeling like, for me personally, that a woman's value of protection has to do with how she dresses, or how she may or may not behave. Like, some people may think, oh, she's a prostitute, she doesn't deserve protection. That's the same idea that if a woman's a prostitute, she can't be raped. Like, if someone says no, the answer is no. I don't give a damn what your occupation is. At the moment you say no, the answer is no. Then that's the answer. You can't say this person is doing this and they're doing that. Why would they say no to this person? It doesn't matter. And I think that's a stigma that's been created that needs to probably change, because if a woman is dressing some way that you don't feel is appropriate, you may not feel like that way is appropriate, but if she get beat up in the damn street, that doesn't mean she deserves to get beat up because you don't like the way she dresses. Like, that doesn't, the fact that people think that that correlates is just mind-boggling to me. Y'all remember that guy that was killed not too long ago? I forgot his name. It was a big controversy around him between black men and black women. I don't know if anyone else saw that, but he was like dating this Asian girl, and he was like basically disrespecting black women all over his Twitter, and a lot of black women were like, nah, I'm not doing nothing for him. But some women were even like, you know what, it doesn't matter what he did in his life, I'm still gonna fight with him because he's still a fight for him because he's still a black man, and his death deserves justice. And my thing is like, with that, he literally disrespected us while he was alive, and some women were literally arguing about it, and about how they're gonna still protest for him because he's still a black man, his life did not deserve to be taken. And the energy of that, to me, is amazing, and that energy is not afforded to a lot of us. And I think that's the issue of why women feel like that. It's not the first time I've heard a woman say this, like, honestly and truly. We'll tell a story about when I felt protected by men who I do not know, right after this commercial break of me doing my eyebrows, because you know I'm not doing them on camera. But if you want to know what I use for my eyebrows, I always use my Morphe chocolate mousse pomade. So we're going to be right back, because okay guys, we are back from doing my eyebrows. Had to take a moment. Okay, let me move over a little bit. Am I centered? So back to what we were talking about. Back to what we were chatting about, you guys. Back to the topic in hand. So before we went on commercial break, I told you guys I was going to tell you guys a story about the time that I really did feel protected by men I don't know, because I find that this conversation talks about men that we don't know more than men that we do. And I find that, like, I don't think it's impossible. I don't think it's rare. Well, I'm not going to say rare. I'm going to speak from my experience. I've not been in many situations where I've had to have protection from strangers. But I was in a situation where it happened and I didn't even expect it. It was weird, and I talk about this even to this day. Like, I'm so grateful. Okay, so way back when, I don't know if y'all remember, it was a T.I. concert in New York City at Irving Plaza. So at this event, individuals started to open gunfire, and it was not thousands, I'm so exaggerating. It was hundreds of people in the crowd, and we were on the top level, kind of like started to run. We were all like dressed up, me and my homegirls, kind of hit against this kind of wall, and these like few men like came and like kind of like got on top of us, like kind of like gathered on top of us and like kind of like shielded us until we didn't hear the shots anymore, and then we're like go 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 go. And I always talk about that because I was so grateful for that, because I've never been in a situation where I've had to have that happen. I'll say that. But it was also kind of, you know, settling and just a little, like, I always like have gratitude toward them because they didn't have to do that. Like, I mean, you know, I couldn't believe that someone would just do that. Like, and it was several of them. Like, it was no, how do you say, like, there was no like hesitation from them. What? Like, I don't know. So that's an instance where I was basically protected by someone who I literally didn't know. It made me feel safe. It made me feel good. I talked about it. I still talk about it. I'm telling you guys now. So clearly it's something that really actually meant something to me. And I find that I thought that was awesome. So I just wanted to say that, just to say, like, I know it's not impossible. And I'm sure a lot of women know it's not impossible. But if a woman has never experienced it, then they can't say that it's possible because they don't have the experience. For a long time, it's been said that black women are not protected, we're neglected, we're just thrown to the wayside in more ways than I feel like is necessary. And I think it's important to just discuss that and talk about that, because it's something that I think is still going on to this day.
I'm just going to quickly look at TaylorMade's makeup. Make sure I'm not chopping it. I'm trying to do it in my own way. I don't want to just, I'm trying to recreate it, not really. You know what I'm trying to say. For my eyes, because this girl, her eyes are amazing. They're made for shadow. Mine are made for walking. These eyes are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. And one of these days, these eyes are gonna walk all over you.
I don't know where that came from, you guys. I'm dead serious. But even things like, I just see a lot of talk about like single black moms and them not needing protection and things like that. It's just like this thing of like this like weird kind of thing on social media, and we have to understand that social media is really not the real world. And I understand that, but a lot of people don't, and a lot of people are seeing these kind of things and they're immediately feeling some type of way about it, because there's no reason why we should get on the internet and we're seeing that Megan Thee Stallion shouldn't be protected because she had a song lyric. Like, what? If she was fucking shot. Like, it is what it is, but my thing is like, why is this a thing? And it's like, oh, this person doesn't deserve any protection because she did this and this, and it's like, what? That just doesn't make sense to me. It just will never make sense to me. A lot of women are kind of tired of feeling like that. I mean, there are men who are like trying to debunk Breonna Taylor's case, and it's just like, are you kidding me? And it could be a media thing, because honestly, I do believe that the media, or just in general, tries to tear down the unity of black people. I do believe that. I do believe that, and I think to not believe that is a little bit, foolish and disingenuous to just what goes on in the world and how media tries to steer people's views. But I do want to say that some of y'all are really falling into that pit. So it's like, which happened first? If that makes sense. Like, what was happening first? To say like who should have the accountability, because it's like we have to be smarter than that at this point. We have to say, you know what? We can't say things like that. We can't think like that and think that this is how it is, or this is because the media tells us. So which part is first, if that makes sense? Like, which part are we like, you know what? This is how the media feels, but we're not gonna do that. So me and my boyfriend were talking about this topic, and he's like, you don't feel protected by me? I'm like, I absolutely do. It's not about that. It's just, I like to, I guess, talk about the people who don't more so than the people who do, because it's the people who don't that I feel like are suffering. They may feel, you know, the most slighted by these kind of conversations. They might feel the most hurt by these type of conversations. And for me, that's important, because I feel like we tend to, if we're not experiencing ourselves, we tend to forget that it's happening. So even if I don't feel like that in my own personal life, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I think people tend to think like, oh, I don't feel this, or it's not like that for me, so it's not real. And I think that's part of the issue, you know? Yeah, so yeah, I just feel like that's how I feel. I'm about to cut my crease off camera, because this is like a liner crease, the way that she did it, and I want it to be perfecto. So give me a second, I'll be right back. So I kind of sort of maybe forgot in a nutshell that I was filming, and this is why I do not like to create other people's artist work, because I'm totally hard on myself, and I don't like this. It's not what I wanted it to look like. I just feel like it's not giving what she was giving. And so I can't remember the last thing we just talked about, but I did tell you my story, and I just want to say, like, I was being very politically correct in the beginning of this video, because I wanted to make sure that I let it be known that I didn't feel like every woman feels like this, or every black woman may have this experience. But let me say something. Those so-called men out there who are basically justifying the hurt of a woman, may it be in any way, shape, or form. I don't care if it has to do with what she's wearing, what she may have supposedly been doing in her past life, what she might be rapping about, what she might be talking about. It is never okay to say that you're not going to protect a woman, and if you do, and this is my opinion, you're a fucking pussy. Meow. If you don't feel like you should protect the women in your community, you're a fucking pussy. And I think that is exactly what's wrong with this community today, because you guys don't think that you have to protect the women in your community because of they strong black women, they're this, they're that. Quiet is kept, and I think I speak for most black women, we don't want to have to be strong. We're strong because we're forced to be, not because we want to be. We should be able to protect women, because no one should be harming other people. You should just be able to protect, because we give you that type of protection. Of this, I'm seeing women jumping in front of guns and shit, between cops and shit, to protect your ass, and you don't even think you should protect her from a guy that might be whooping her ass on the street, whether you know what it's about or not. I'm not okay with that. If you don't think that you should be protecting the women in your community, to me, you're a pussy. Point blank period. Meow, pussy. Meow. Meow. You're doing that, I think you're a fucking pussy, you're a wuss, and you're just looking for an excuse so you don't have to somehow harm. There are men who have lost their lives trying to protect women, and those are heroes. Let me say something, those are heroes, because to lose your life to protect someone else, that is the most heroic thing you could do. I'm not trying to say that, you know, every man should just jump up in front of a bullet and protect, you know what I'm saying, because we do need our men in the community. I'm just saying that the fact that he was willing to, or went and died for that to me is amazing. He's a hero. Not these people that are out here committing crimes and drug pens and all them people. Those aren't heroes to me. The man that will jump in front of a woman and take a bullet for a woman, that's a hero. Before I even started this video, I just saw a post of this man like being sarcastic, like, oh, and this girl was kind of like half naked, and she's just like, oh, I'm gonna post it and read it, because this is the type of shit that I always see, and it's like redunculous to me, and I'm like, what? This photo lets me know, this is all sarcasm. This photo lets me know that this queen is sick and tired of sexual harassment from men. This picture screams, protect me, brothers. Her whole stance and pose is clearly a message to focus on her mind and not her body. She wants to provoke heartfelt and thoughtful reactions, not sexual ones. See, fellas, y'all just don't understand women. Shaking my goddamn hand, just a bunch of pervs. Women for president. Whole sarcasm. So basically what you're saying is that because of the way that she's dressed, and I'm gonna post it right here, you're gonna see it this whole time, because of the way she's dressed, she doesn't deserve to not be sexually harassed and all that. That's the problem with y'all. Y'all think that just because of the way someone is dressed, and if it was the other way around and someone judged you on the way that you dress, you would have a problem. you would have a problem. And that is my thing. Like, y'all do unto others that y'all don't want to be done unto you, and that's my issue. But that's the type of crap that I see, and that is what other women are seeing, and that is fueling the idea of what like I said earlier, it could be a media push, but y'all are fueling that push. A lot of stories about women who have never felt protected by men in their family or around the community, and that's the problem. And that's the problem. And if you're doing that, then that's a problem for me. I'm sorry. I don't mess with that. I don't bump with that. And that's the same way I feel about the way we are with children in this society of like, oh, that's not my kid. I'm not gonna do anything for that child. Like, I don't believe in that. I get it. I get you don't have to have the responsibility, but it takes a village. If you notice you're not doing anything to hurt anybody else, I don't care what you're doing, and that's my problem with y'all. Like, y'all, you can't sit there and say that this person doesn't deserve something because of what they have on, how they behave. Are you kidding me? They're not doing anything wrong to you. Why does it offend you so much that she might dress this way but doesn't want attention from you? She don't like you. She don't have to like you just because she has on a thong. It doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. If that's how you're valuing the way that you should protect women, that's a fucking problem. And maybe you just don't like women. You're misogynistic and you're sexist and you're horrible. You're a horrible fucking human being. And I'll be back after I put on fucking lashes before I pop a fucking blood vessel. Okay, flowers, I look, it took a little time. And I did my lashes and I did my lips. I did my lip combo. Okay, guys, so basically this is the final look. I don't hate the way it came out, but when you're trying to create a look like a tailor-made Jane look, like, it's a lot of pressure. So bear with me because tailor-made is one of the goats. But yeah, that's in a nutshell. That's just how I feel about the whole topic, and I feel like we need to do better as a community, as a people, just as a one. You know what I'm saying? Come into unity, have more compassion, and understand that people don't have to prove anything to you in order to have protection from you, and that's just how I feel about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this Slay Chat. Basically, Slay Rant is what really this ends up being. But if this is something that you like to see, along with stories, I'm going to also keep doing my stories. Make sure you let me know that in the comments as well. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, join that flower gang, you already know. And make sure you turn on your post notifications so that you see my next post. This Wednesday is going to be a hair video, so stay tuned because I slayed somebody else's hair this time, and you don't want to miss that. Alright, you guys, remember to bloom because the flowers are so blossoming in nature. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.